I'd focus in on how are you positioning your product or service around and putting it into events.
Mm-hmm.
Event marketing is a great way to reach people, and it not only can you just reach people, but it does a few things for you and your business. You can sharpen up your pitch skills, right? You're meeting tons of people on the floor. You're being forced essentially to get whatever product or service you had on the burner ready for promotion and ready to sell out there on the floor. You get instant validation, instant feedback for an idea. So you might consider just testing some ideas like, hey, we've got this one product, but we're thinking about this other iteration later on. What do you guys think? And get some real good customer feedback right there. And they're just walking through looking for engagement. So it's a great way to touch base with people who are basically actively there looking to find interesting ideas.
Right.
So, that whole thing of marketing it before, of course, companies like Sony, for example, are great at doing this, or Nintendo. They say, we're going to be at E3 and we have some special announcements to make. Consider what that might look like for your company. Maybe you're putting stuff on LinkedIn. Hey, I'm going to be at a certain event. We've got some exciting things to say. So before, during the event, and after, if that's through social media or maybe some newsletters, some way to reach people broadly digitally, but of course at the event, figuring out how to engage and create that buzz so that people can look for you at the event and follow up with you afterwards. And I'd say the third thing is the events are great just to put product in people's hands and on their phones. So, you could probably get them to install your app or register for your newsletter, right? So right there, you can get some quick adoption of your product if you're savvy enough to make sure that they install something on their phone or they're signing up for your newsletter, some sort of takeaway that you can follow up with afterwards. So those would be like the three things. So get some validation around your ideas. Events are a great way to do that. Create buzz before, during, and after the event somehow through some marketing, and getting people to adopt the product or service by giving them something to take away if it's a physical product, or if it's an app, put it on their phone.
And one thing that, as you were talking, I was thinking about the number 3, kind of the way, get the product into people's hands. If you go back to number 1, tying kind of 1 and 3 together, I mean, if you're in kind of the MVP stage, the minimum viable product stage, I mean, I could also think this is a great focus group too, to give you feedback on how to iterate and how to, improve whatever your product or service is with a pretty focused group. And like you mentioned, I mean, it's instant feedback.
Exactly. Yeah. You can even say, hey, this is a beta test. You can be a part of this, and you might need to give some incentive. Maybe it's, you do this, I will give you 6 months free, right? It's going to be $20 a month once it goes live, or, $100 a year, whatever it is.
Right.
So we'll give this to everybody who's on our beta test, and lucky you're here and you get to try this out, and hopefully it's solving the need that they have. So you want to get through that whole conversation, but people are typically there at the events to experience something new. So you've already got a few steps ahead to get to that point of getting them to adopt what you have.
And if they're at events like this, they probably have an early adopter mentality anyway, I would think. They're kind of on the front end of that bell curve. So
they're probably open to the experience right away, right?
For sure.
They're, like you're saying, they probably already reached that. You've got that demographic of open to experience, early adopters, looking to try something new, interested in tech or whatever.
Right, exactly.
The reason that you're at the event, right? So
and
they've got a few things going
on tech. They're interested in it, and they are very quick to give feedback, as well. So which is exactly what you don't want anybody blowing smoke at you. You want to tell me the exact thing, your reaction to this. How is it working? Is it not working? What are the features that are missing? That type of thing. So
exactly. Can you get 20 people to sign up at an event? If you have a few hundred or 1,000, can you get 20? It shouldn't be that hard.
Right.
So hopefully you can do that.
If not, it's probably not a good idea.
Well, you never know. Yeah.
You never
know.
It's
probably not.
You never know. Well, let me wrap up just so, event-based marketing, really the 3 major points you talked about were just the idea of this instant feedback or validation. You get to marketing the the product or service, create buzz around that. And the third one really is, it's just a good place to get the product or service actually into their proverbial hands at the event, and then kind of this instant feedback loop that you're creating. And this is not a linear process; it's more of a circular process.
Yeah.
The whole iterative process that you're going to go through as a startup.